Today's best music mix.
Free radio.
So we are at the Hare and Hounds in Kings Heath, and Mr. Ed Sheeran is here with us. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
This is a bit of a homecoming for you, isn't it? You've been here a few times before.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back. Last time I came here, I played the small room, and now we're in the bigger room, so it's
Okay, now
cool.
this is quite a small pub. Last night you were doing V Festival, and then a week ago you were doing the closing ceremony for the Olympics.
Yeah.
How do you go from doing such a massive gig to such a small one? And for you as a performer, what is the difference?
Well, I've been going big to small for the last kind of 2 years. I mean, from playing small venues in England, playing big venues in England overseas, I might not be doing so well in the country, and I'll be going to play small venues there, and then going elsewhere that I am doing well and playing bigger venues. So I'm always venue hopping. So yeah, it's not too much of a change.
Do you find some of them more nerve-wracking than others? Because like last week's stuff at the Olympics was in front of 100 million people, if you include the TV people. Whereas here is in front of 200 people. Which is most nerve-wracking out of those two sizes of gigs, do you think?
Probably this one, to be honest, because with the Olympics one, even though it was a very nerve-wracking experience, it was only literally one song. It went on and played one song for 2.5 minutes and then done. So you can psych yourself up and just expect to just do 2.5 minutes, play the song, and then come off. But here it's an hour set in front of hardcore fans that know everything, and if you mess up a little bit, they will notice.
Yeah, okay. You know? It's nerve-wracking, but in a different way then, I suppose, doing a small thing. You see all their faces, can't you, in the crowd? So it's like...
Yeah, no, but I kind of like that as well. I kind of like that. I like to see people enjoying themselves, if they are enjoying themselves, and if they're not, then looking at them and wondering why they're not enjoying themselves, you know?
Your song lyrics are quite personal. They're quite kind of small, intimate songs. So is it better to perform those to a smaller room? Because does it feel a bit kind of more natural performing it to a small room, or is telling a whole like stadium of people about bits of your life through your songs?
It's odd because the songs were written to perform in small rooms, and like especially at V Festival yesterday, I discovered like songs like Small Bump, which is quite a kind of like intimate, quiet acoustic song when it's performed in a room like today. But yesterday it turned into this kind of festival anthem with everyone singing it very, very loudly, and it sounded awesome. But they just take on different shapes in different crowds.
How does that feel when you're in front of all those people and a song that you've written, which is about something from your life or about a friend or about one of your own relationships, and everybody knows the words and everyone's singing it back at you? Yeah. That must be an amazing feeling. It's
an amazing feeling. The first time that happens as well, I'll never forget it. It was Wakestock last year, playing the A-Team, and just hearing everyone in the tent. And it had just been just after the A-Team had kind of started picking up a little bit. So just that feeling never leaves you when people sing back your lyrics in mass. It's just great, man. It's really cool.
It's kind of like, wow, I wrote this and everyone knows it. That's got to be quite a.
It's just like it freaks you out how you can write a song that kind of gets into people's heads in that way, and they actually genuinely enjoy. Like, I'm just happy that my job is to entertain people and make people happy. I think it's good.
Well, that single, The A-Team, was the biggest selling debut single of 2011, and that was your first kind of major single, wasn't it? Since then, everybody knows your name, everyone knows your songs, everyone knows your face. How has life changed now that you are that famous, the world over?
It's changing from the point of view of I have to be more careful where I go and what I say. But I think that's a good thing. Keeps me very quiet. But no, I mean, like, I haven't really... I'm honestly still wearing the same clothes, eating the same food, hanging around with the same people, playing the same songs, touring the same places. No, I mean, like, the main thing that's changed is the kind of recognition. But the recognition has only kind of come since, like, the Brits and the Jubilee and the Olympics. Like, for the whole year, the A-Team was big and the album was big. I mean, we'd sold 1 million copies by the time that the Brits happened, but up to that point, I don't think many people knew what I looked like because I wasn't really in many music videos. So I think the Brits, the Jubilee and the Olympics have made me stand out a bit more. So like I got the tube the other day and no one noticed me. It was just, I would just walk in.
Do you have to do any disguises?
No, I mean,
kind of hiding, or is it all...
I think if anyone did notice me, they probably wouldn't care. They'd just be, I don't know. But more recently, since the Olympics, it's been probably just because the Olympics been quite recent, but yeah, it's been a bit full on.
You've managed to pick up a few showbiz friends along the way. I know you and Example are quite kind of charming. You've done some bits of work together.
Yeah.
You're also working with some other bigger bands like One Direction. You've been writing some stuff for them.
Mm-hmm.
People wouldn't automatically put your style of tunes alongside their style of performing and stuff. How does that all work?
I think it's healthy to songwrite for all different types of things. I've done underground grime things, underground rap things, dance things, dubstep things, and I wanted to try my hand at pop writing. And yeah, I wrote some songs a while ago. I gave them to the One Direction boys. One of them went on the last album. I think 3 are going on the next album. But yeah, I mean, it's good to keep your horizons wide, and it's always good to have other people singing your songs.
Is it a bit weird having someone singing stories from your life? If you've taken like experiences from your life and given them to somebody else to sing them?
All my most personal songs I sing myself,
Okay.
and the kind of epic ballad love songs that are just kind of love songs, they go to other people.
So what are your fans called? Like Gaga's got her Monsters and Bieber's got his Believers. What are your? They've got a nickname, haven't they?
They make up a lot of nicknames for themselves. I'd like to think of something really cool to call them, but I can't.
Okay.
I can't. And I'd feel a bit odd on Twitter hashtagging a fan's name. You know, like the Believers, or what were the Gaga's ones called again?
Little Monsters.
Little Monsters. Yeah. I'd feel a bit odd doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd like to think of them less as just a mass and more as individual people. You know.
Okay, well, we've had a question in from Rachel Wilkins on Facebook. Where do you get the inspiration for all your songs from? Because you've got to be one of the best lyricists of modern times, she says.
Thank you. Inspiration comes from like just stories, experiences. I think like most of my songs have a negative spin on them, mostly because I get more inspiration from negative situations than I do from positive situations, if that makes sense. Like when I'm happy, I don't necessarily want to be inside with the lights off with a guitar, depressed.
Well, songs like Small Bumps that we mentioned earlier on, that is, I mean, the end of that song is a massive twist from what sounds like a positive song. The whole thing suddenly goes quite dark towards the end.
Yeah, that was kind of my intention.
Yeah, okay.
No, I know that's a dark tune, but yeah.
Jackie says, are you single? Lol. And similarly, Geraldine would like a mobile number. Is there a potential Mrs. Sheeran?
No.
Oh, so you're open to offers from people?
Single again. Yeah, I guess so.
Does that do your relationships inspire your songs? Because like we've had a massive success from Adele, but it seems like she has to get into a relationship with someone and then break up with them in order to write a new album. It all seems to be this sort of.
Well, I don't know if I'd get into a relationship with someone just to break up with them. I'm just a bit unlucky with relationships anyway, just from the amount that I travel. So yeah, I don't know if I'd necessarily be that calculated.
Okay.
I've just been a bit unlucky in my situation, so that's where the songs come from.
Okay, Rakesh on Twitter, who's obviously been listening to Drunk, he wants to know how many times a week do you go and get drunk? I know you've had a bit of a V Festival experience over the last 24 hours, but is that a regular thing?
No, I don't. I don't really drink regularly. I've got to a point where I drink when I want to drink, and it's usually probably about once or twice every 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
And I decided to go a bit wild last night at V.
People do at festivals.
Yeah,
it's perfectly allowed. You look a bit ashamed, but there's no need to be ashamed.
I'm just hanging like a thread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fabian on Twitter wants to know: have you ever added more ginger to your hair to kind of trade off it? Is it because it's obviously a bit of a trademark? Have you ever played on it?
No. This is
It's all you.
This is all au naturel. But I was having a chat with Newton Faulkner yesterday about people that are dyeing their hair ginger and whether we're happy about it or not, because you know we've done our time. We're not sure about people sneaking in.
No, it's good to fly the ginger flag. There's quite a few like Belinda Carlisle, she's a ginger, and Newton Faulkner, and you.
Catherine Tate.
Keith
Lemon.
Yeah, people love it.
Keith Lemon is ginger. Is he? He'll tell you that he's not, but he is.
He's kind of light ginger, isn't it? Autumn sunrise or something.
He does it.
Yeah.
Free radio.
Today's best music mix.
It's nice.